Welcome back, Aggies. My name is Professor Bone, and this is a Who's Hiring podcast with FMG Suite. And I'm honored to have guests joining us from FMG Suite. We have Grayson Elwood, a recent alum of Utah State University, and Chris Paley and Dave Morton. So welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to have you. And maybe we'll just take a couple minutes here at the top, and I would love for our students to get to know each of you and kind of how you arrived at FMG Suite. Let's start with Chris. Would you give us a start up there?
Absolutely. So Chris Paley, nice to meet everyone virtually. I'm the VP of Sales, started with FMG Suite just about 3 years ago. Have been in sales in some form for the last 22 years. So started as an individual contributor and kind of mentored to a team lead and then eventually a sales manager, and have found my passion of really wanting to help and build sales teams and individuals find their sales voice. So when FMG had an opportunity 3 years ago, they were kind of a company with a small sales team looking to build out the organization and get into some new areas of expertise. My skill set and their needs kind of aligned, and have just been having an absolute blast ever since. So we've grown the team quite a bit, and we've acquired a few different companies. So we are growing and always looking for unique and passionate individuals to join our team. So thankful for this opportunity for the Huntsman Pro Sales Group and learning more about what we're up to and how we can partner with you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. And we're going to dive certainly deep into some of the opportunities that you're recruiting for and some of the unique benefits of working at FMG. Dave, tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, no problem. Hi, I'm Dave Morton, and I've been with FMG Suite now for 6 years. I joined the company as an individual contributor and did that for a couple of years, and then was able to move on to a team lead position where I was carrying an individual quota, but then also mentoring new hires into the business. And now I'm the director of sales for FMG Suite, and I'm responsible for hiring and managing and leading the sales organization for the insurance side of our business. And so prior to joining FMG Suite, I had various sales roles, probably most prominently with a company called ADP, Automatic Data Processing. So that's me.
Outstanding, Dave. Welcome. It's great to have you. And finally, Grayson Elwood, one of our Aggies who was in our Pro Sales program a couple of years back. Grayson, it's great to have you back at Utah State.
Oh, great to be here, Sterling. I am so excited for this meeting today. I'm Grayson Elwood, account executive here at FMG Suite. I've been with the company now, actually this past week, just hit my 1 year mark, and super excited about it. Been having a blast. I love it here. Obviously had a few different sales positions before I came across this great opportunity, but I am a USU graduate, an Aggie for life, a pro sales alum, and super excited to talk with everybody today.
Awesome. It'd be great to get your perspectives, Grayson, as you've kind of bridged the graduation from USU and to your professional career. And so we'll be excited to learn more about you and your career. Chris, maybe at the start, maybe you could tell our students and our guests today, what is FMG Suite, right? What is FMG Suite? What is your market? Where do you find your advantage playing in the software space in the marketplace?
Absolutely. So FMG Suite is the industry's leading automated marketing platform for financial and insurance professionals. We provide really an all-in-one suite of marketing tools designed to help our clients really just build an online presence, stay connected with prospects, help strengthen relationships that they already have with their clients, and then also help them find new opportunities to grow their business. So we do this by really building a beautiful website that's really kind of helps to tell their story online and serves as kind of the hub of their marketing activity. we then give them tools where they can create email or social campaigns that they can pull from our content library, where I think we have over 400 or 500 pieces now that they can pull from, that really help them stay connected with those prospects and existing clients and just keep the conversation going. So, a lot of our service professionals got in the business to help individuals like us, whether it be through insurance or financial needs or future. They didn't get in the business of becoming marketing experts. And so we like to really say that we try to create extraordinary marketers out of our clients. And at the end of the day, we just want to help them look professional, really be the expert in what they're doing, and then provide awesome content that they can share with their clients. So it's a unique industry, but one that is much needed. And we really try to give them the appearance that they have a whole marketing team behind what they're doing, when really it's our platform, our content, and the way we automate and deliver to help them save time throughout their work week.
That's very exciting. And as a marketing professor and the director of the sales program, I'm totally vibing with you on this opportunity, right? A lot of professional service providers in insurance and financial services just don't have the backgrounds to run their businesses in their entirety, and to be able to have FMG Suite to be able to help grow their business with the marketing automated tools that you guys provide. I think that's super extraordinary and a unique and important niche. Tell us about kind of the outlook for your company as it relates to kind of growing. Is this a growing area for you? Do you see that the financial service and insurance sector are driven for this type of adoption? Maybe Dave, maybe you can talk a little bit about that in terms of you see the growth trajectory for FMG Suite.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're really excited about our growth trajectory here for a couple of different reasons. One is just within the areas of expertise that we have today, there's still a ton of room for growth. So as Chris mentioned, on the financial advisory side, that's probably our biggest business unit right now, and we have a clear market share leadership there. And so but the total addressable market there is there's over 300,000 financial advisors for us to sell to, and we've got a nice chunk of those, but man, there's a lot of runway to grow there. So we just need to continue to execute, continue to innovate, and meet their needs. On the insurance side, we're still a leader, but not as much market share. And there's a lot of runway to grow there. We've been growing 40 to 50% year over year now for the last 3 or 4 years. And that's been really, really exciting to be a part of. I've been able to grow the sales team from just a few individuals now up to 12 salespeople, and it's creating career opportunities for people like Grayson that are on this call that he'll be able to speak to. And then as we look at the business going forward, it's not just these two vertical markets that we want to stay in, financial advisors and insurance agents. There's other professionals that have these same types of challenges: doctors, lawyers, CPAs. The list goes on to where they have small businesses and they don't have the resources to market themselves very effectively. And that's where we think we can come alongside of them, give them the tools, the best practices, and the knowledge to really execute a marketing plan that makes them look and feel bigger than they actually are.
I love that. And for our students that, have maybe are in entrepreneurship, that are interested in kind of the small micro enterprise, micro businesses, this is certainly, look and play big, right? And, that if you're a small, professional service provider, whether it be in the financial advising space or in the insurance, I can certainly see how a tool like FMG would help these businesses, level the playing field with other maybe entities that they're competing against in their marketplace. So Grayson, let's dive in. I'm curious because you've been at FMG Suite for a year. What has been the most, I think, surprising element of the culture? I know this was a unprecedented year to onboard with the new company with COVID, but what have you found about the culture at FMG Suite?
Great. Yeah, great question. I think the number one thing that stands out to me is just support, right? Walking into this role, there's a lot of responsibility put on on our team, account executives. We actually handle a full sales cycle here, which is pretty. It's obviously there's a lot of work that goes into that, but it's also really empowering. And I remember, I remember day one, right? When I first interviewed with Dave, one of the first things he said to me was, "Hey, yeah, this job's not going to be easy, right? But if you work hard, if you come with an attitude where you're eager to learn, eager to improve, you will grow more professionally in this job than you will in many other different SaaS sales type of roles." And it's totally true. It's led me essentially, we handle, I say there's five areas that we're covering here. Essentially prospecting, right? Generating opportunities, conducting effective demos, business meetings, pipeline management, and closing. And basically, I've been able to learn each and every one of those areas, the skill sets, and been able to perform at a high level. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without the training that they have here, the management, our team. They just provide an incredible amount of support. And in terms of FMG in general, they do have some core values when it comes to culture that I think are really important to note, because it's sort of interwoven throughout the entire company. And those values are: we inspire each other, we can laugh at ourselves, we have a passion for progress, and we stop, collaborate, and listen to one another. And I've been able to see that in every one of my day-to-day operations.
Grayson, that's very helpful, and thank you for sharing about the culture. I'm going to open up that question also to Chris and Dave. Anything that you see in terms of kind of the culture that makes FMG unique?
Yeah, it's a great question. I remember interviewing myself, right, 3 years ago, and I think I met everyone from the CEO down to the frontline employee in maybe 8 or 9 different conversations of levels of skill sets and departments. And I'm thinking at the end, like, man, they're really putting me through the ringer of meeting everyone. And I later began to understand why. It was the culture fit, right? We look for people, like Grayson said, who inspire each other, who have a passion for progress. And it's held true. Our company is filled with individuals who truly love what they're doing. We don't take things too serious. We make mistakes, we learn from it, and we keep moving forward. And when people ask what makes FMG unique, it's the people, hands down. We just have people who care about what they're doing. They care about their clients that they're speaking to and delivering great service. And as a company, we're constantly looking at ways to improve. And so our product is constantly being innovated. We're looking at companies to acquire. We're not sitting on our heels. We are actively going out and trying to figure out the best way to provide top-notch service and support to our clients. And so, working with individuals like Grayson and Dave has just been an absolute pleasure. And across all our teams, our company meetings, it's just cool to look around and see all the different individuals and, how much they care about what they're doing. And it just becomes contagious. And a lot of companies speak to those core values, but I've been a part of companies that they don't exhibit it. We do. We stand by it. And if you go to our fmgsuite.com page, you'll hear our CEO say, "Culture will eat strategy for lunch." We stand by that. And it's, it got us through some tough times last year, and I think really rallied the company together. And the company did some amazing things to support, all our employees throughout a tough time. So really proud to be part of it.
Thanks, Chris. Dave, how about you? What stands out to you in terms of culture and things that really set you apart from other organizations?
Yeah, I think the the thing that I like the best is this core value of we can laugh at ourselves. And I think that speaks to a couple of different things. One is, look, we want to do a great job. We want to service our clients well. We want to sell a lot of software, but at the same time, it should be something that's fun, and we're going to make mistakes, and it's okay. It's not, when we do make a mistake, it's owning up to it, not pointing fingers at people. And it's just saying, okay, that's part of life and I'm going to move on. And everybody else in the organization feels that way too. We spend a good portion of our sales meetings when we get together to have sales meetings to work on different skill sets and things like that, just to have fun in the first 5 or 10 minutes of just finding out how everybody's doing. And we tend to make fun of each other a little bit, but it's just all in good nature, and it's a good time. So not taking ourselves too seriously is my favorite part of it.
Thanks for sharing that. And Dave, since you've interviewed Grayson and likely will interview other Aggies as they view and see this opportunity, what are some of the roles that you're recruiting for? And maybe talk a little bit about that interview hiring process.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's exciting what we're doing with our sales team right now. I mean, I think so. Another thing that would set FMG Suite apart is we're sort of this small to mid-size type software company. We're not a massive organization with hundreds and hundreds of employees. Well, we have hundreds of employees, but hundreds of salespeople. We've got a team of 50 to 60 salespeople under Chris Paley. But I think that allows us to be really innovative in how we structure the sales team to go to market. So there's lots of different positions that we're looking to fill as we continue to grow. As Grayson mentioned, Grayson is an account executive for us on the insurance side of the business. And really, this is somebody that's managing the entire sales cycle from source to close. As he mentioned, I think that's kind of a unique experience for somebody relatively new coming into a software sales positions. A lot of times, bigger companies will ask that you come in and set appointments and generate leads and things like that. This allows someone to really put their software sales career on turbocharge, because we're asking you to create your own opportunities, but also perform the demos, manage the pipeline, and close deals out as well. And it's an incredibly satisfying experience to see somebody like Grayson come in. Grayson had a great track record of sales in some door-to-door sales that he'd done and some other things, but he had never sold software before. And man, he's taken it up, and he honestly one of my top performers after a year, just because of his willingness to learn and apply the things that we're teaching him. And the way that we approach helping sales reps accomplish their goals is we come in and do a lot of work together. So I've been on lots of sales calls with Grayson where we're playing off of each other, and it's a lot of fun. So that account executive position is one of them. As people grow, they can move into a team lead position. And now we're also exploring bringing in even people with less experience that can do some of that lead gen for us. So those are maybe 3 of the types of roles that we're looking to fill in our sales organization.
Thank you, Dave, and thanks for taking a good calculated risk on an Aggie and Grayson. And Grayson, congrats on the incredible track record. That's like a Christmas gift for a professor to hear about their students that are just tearing it up and hitting their quotas and performing at a very high level. And so congratulations on that front. Chris, you have viewpoint of the entire sales organization in your role, and you see individuals come and go in various areas, maybe in the business or in the sales career. What are some of the things that you found that have kept sales reps at the top of their game? What are some of the attributes that you're looking for in our hiring, our students that you're hoping to hire? What would you be looking for in the top candidates and things that they can do to stay relevant and successful in your organization?
Absolutely. So what I love about sales is there's so many different ways to get to the end result to win a deal, right? And Grayson touched on this a little bit, is, I've always preached effort and attitude. You give us those two things, we'll figure out the rest, right? If you come in with a
Amen.
positive attitude, passion,
Amen.
enthusiasm, excitement, we can accomplish anything. And if you bring that effort every single day, those are the only two things we can control as individuals every single day. You can't always control if someone's going to show up to the demo, or their technology is going to be working right, but you bring that effort and attitude every single day, we'll accomplish anything. Some of the things we do to really keep our team members sharp is we do obviously trainings, one-on-ones. We pick topics and have good heated conversations and challenge each other. Certainly as sales leadership, we've got experience, we have ideas, but we don't have all the answers. And I've always run my teams and organizations that I've worked with is, hey, I want to hear from the frontline employees. You're having those conversations on a daily basis. What are you hearing? How can we handle those objections? What can we do differently? And certainly with someone like Grayson, who has come into the organization, he exhibits the effort and attitude to a T. And, he's put in the work, and, he's brought some new ideas to the table. And we certainly don't have all the answers or have an ego big enough that says, hey, nope, you got to do it this way. If someone's got a better way to build a mousetrap, let's go with that. And so, our kind of team collaboration is always, we want to hear from everyone, share ideas, what's working, what's not working, what can we learn from that? So, as we do interviews and we meet our potential candidates, if you come in with a track record of, persistence, effort, attitude, sticking with it, because it's not easy. We all know this, right? In sales, you're going to have those ups and downs and roller coaster rides. But if you can just keep marching forward and work on your skill set and stay persistent, you'll find success. And our products and services are powerful, and we know they help our clients. And last year with the pandemic, it just solidified how important it is, right? We saw this huge outreach from our clients saying, thank you. Thank you for positioning us, and being able to stay in touch with our clients, our prospects, since we can't do live events. And so just really reinforce what we're doing. And, we're excited to bring on new team members. We're always looking for great individuals. We're trying to figure out a way to clone Grayson. We haven't solved that yet, but we'll continue to figure it out.
Well, thank you, Chris. And I think, it's really valuable for our students to see just the investment that you take with your people, and just the mentorship and that involvement from the management and executive team with the salespeople. And I even heard Grayson say a little amen and validation that you certainly have experienced that, Grayson. Grayson, I know that you were in a unique position when you were at school, that you had a lot of opportunities to evaluate. You've done the door-to-door sales. You've done very well with door-to-door. Maybe talk about kind of the financial and monetary, as well as non-monetary benefits that you find at FMG Suite, obviously that has satisfied you to drive performance at a high level. Maybe can you share about, for fellow peer Aggies, why they should be looking at FMG from the upside?
Yeah, well, aside from being part of just a great organization, with great management, great team members, great culture, I think that, there's just, it's hard to answer that question, Sterling. Because there's so many reasons why I love this company. But if we're talking just some perks, the 980 schedule is something that I love. I feel like, family, work balance is something that's really, really important to me. And if you don't know what a 980 schedule is, definitely everyone that's listening, tuning in right now, look it up. It's amazing. Essentially, every other Friday we get off. We work an extra hour every day so that it equals out to an 80-hour, 2-week work period. But basically, every other Friday we get the day off. So it's a long weekend every other Friday. But that just means we got to grind. We got to work really hard during those other 9 days that we are working. And so that's given my wife and I the ability to just have those long weekends, to take those extra family trips, and do a lot of things outside of work that have been really enjoyable for us. Just having those 980 weekends are the best. You know, and I think obviously, yeah, you know, I think FMG Suite, they provide a great, obviously a great base salary, great benefits, and the potential to earn a lot of commissions on top of that as well. And if you can grind, if you can work hard, you know, build up a solid pipeline, hit quota, yeah, you're looking at 6 figures easily. So it's definitely, you know, I feel at this position, I feel happy. I feel happy with my team, my managers. You know, I've got that security there in terms of, you know, a base salary and benefits, a great schedule, and then with the, you know, uncapped commission. You know, there's just a lot of potential to have you know, a great lifestyle from a financial perspective. So.
Well, thank you, Grayson. I know that you know, Grayson actually is in transition, actually moving back to Utah. And maybe Chris, you can speak to kind of your philosophy of the remote worker and kind of how is that kind of built into your organization, and just for, you know, students that are maybe interested in staying in Utah, others that are interested in maybe going outside of Utah, where would FMG Suite want the student hire, and kind of how is that maneuvered at FMG?
Well, that certainly has changed over the last year, that's for sure, right? Before we were mainly in office. We did have some remotes out there, but we were always encouraging to try to hire within the office so you can kind of be part of the team environment. Certainly with the pandemic, all of us going fully remote, we saw there was tremendous benefits to that as well. We saw sales growth throughout the year. We saw a nice work-life balance for our employees. So we're absolutely open to both having remote employees. We have offices in San Diego, California. We have offices in Utah, but there's probably about, I think, 23 different states that we are set up to have employees in. So when you go through kind of the online process, you'll see a list of states, and certainly as long as you're in one of those, then we can hire you. But yeah, the remote world has definitely changed. So, you know, we're looking to just find the best candidates, and not necessarily do they need to be at one of the local offices. You know, we're hiring professionals, and we feel like you can manage yourself and get the job done. And if that's you, then yeah, we want to talk to you. So definitely open to some opportunities. I mean, I've got one individual on the team who she's literally in an RV and in a different place every other week, and she's doing great in sales, and we all get jealous every time we're in team meetings and she spins around her camera and shows, you know, what cool place she's at now. But the world has changed, and we've changed with it, and we're adapting, and we're certainly open to people kind of living a great life and still finding that balance with putting in the work.
So I'm intrigued. I have been since the set go as I've learned about FMG Suite, but how can our students continue this conversation as they're, you know, exploring potential opportunities? You know, Dave, Chris, Grayson, how would you like them to continue to engage with you?
I think certainly you can go to fmgsuite.com, and if you kind of scroll down to the bottoms, there's a careers tab that you can click on that lists all our open positions. So not only in sales, but support and all the different departments out there. Our insurance brand, Agency Revolution, if that speaks to you, is another great site. So agencyrevolution.com. Again, you can scroll down to the careers tab and we'll list all the same positions. Certainly you can reach out to any one of us direct. Happy to have a conversation with you. You can look us up on LinkedIn, or we'll get Professor Bone our information to share with the students. And yeah, always happy to have a conversation. And even if you're just curious about, you know, what it's like, or have some questions, we've opened it up to let, you know, potential candidates speak to existing employees. You know, we want to be really transparent on what the job is and what the expectations are. And we feel like the best way to do that is talk to someone who's doing the role. And we've always had great success in that.
Yeah, I'll just add in on that. So I lead the sales team for the Agency Revolution brand, but beyond just going through the standard processes for applying for a job, I would encourage you to connect with me on LinkedIn. Send me a note saying, hey, I heard your podcast and wanted to connect with you. Sometimes, and this goes for whether you're applying for a job here or anywhere else, if you can connect directly with the hiring manager, you have a leg up and it's encouraged. So send me a note on LinkedIn and let's get connected. And selfishly, I would love to bring on some more Aggies for the agency revolution side of the business and work alongside Grayson and I. So
that's perfect. And we'd love to hear that. Again, this has been a great session. I'm excited for our Aggies to learn more about FMG Suite. We'll put the information about how to connect with each of our guests today in the comments on our Huntsman YouTube channel, as well as encourage you to visit the website and to learn more about FMG Suite. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today.